Okay, so I'm going to rate every single farming game that I have ever reviewed, plus a couple of extras, and I have played so many farming games. So first, I just want to start with Stardew Valley. I haven't reviewed this one, but everyone goes crazy when I don't include these in my farming game lists, and that's simply because it is the farming game. It's like the OG farming game that all other farming games inspire to be. Littlewood is another great little farming game. I absolutely love this one. I think I've played it about 3 times now. It looks like a very simple game. It's just 2D pixelated, very simple graphics. And at the start, again, still a simple game, but as you play this game and you progress, you unlock so much stuff. There's so much content to unlock. It's insane the difference between when you start this game to when you finish. I highly recommend this one. This one is an A. Slime Rancher is one I did not too long ago actually. I did struggle a little bit to get into this game as it doesn't really guide you very much, but once I figured everything out, I really enjoyed this one. It's definitely one of the more unique farming games that doesn't try and take too much from others and just make its own game, which I really love. So Slime Rancher, I'm giving a B. Immortal Life is a relatively new game. I think it came out just last year. This one I think is going a little bit under the radar. I haven't seen too much about it. And again, this one I wasn't 100% sure of when I started playing it, but I got sucked in so hard. The story is a bit so-so at the start. Basically, an area gets destroyed, and your goal from that point on is to help rebuild it, and you kind of just really get to know a lot of the villagers around town, and they have really great personalities. There's a really cool farming area that you get to customize and create with, and there's like magic involved in the farming, which I thought was really cool as well. Add to that, it's got this really cool kind of Chinese theme to it, and I thought it was a really great game. So I'm going to give Immortal Life a B. Ooblets, this one I put off buying for a really long time because it was one of the more expensive farming games at the time. Not so much anymore. This is probably, yeah, definitely still one of my favorites. Games that kind of create their own sort of world within a game where they've got certain terms that they use and new creatures. And I just love that kind of stuff, and that's exactly what Ooblets did. The writing is so creative and funny, the characters are hilarious, and the gameplay is just so fun and colorful, and it's just an amazing game. This is the only game I have ever played with turn-based combat where I loved it every single step of the way and I never got bored. Loved it. I give this one an S. Palia, another really big favorite game of mine. I swear there are some games I didn't like. We'll get to those. But Palia is this MMORPG. And this one is on Nintendo Switch, which is really cool. You can also play it on PC. I'm not too sure about other consoles at the moment. This game has got a lot of things wrong with it. It can get really laggy. I found I was losing connection quite a bit. It's, you know, it was definitely a work in progress. I played it just as it came out, I believe. But oh my god, I got so addicted to this one. I was genuinely trying to stop playing it because I had reviewed it and I needed to move on to other games, but I couldn't stop. Even now, I've had to delete the game so I don't keep going back to it. But basically, there's just this really awesome skill system that I love. I love like developing skills where you get really rewarded. So it's like, you know, once you get to certain skills, you can mine different stuff, kind of like RuneScape in a way if you've ever played that. And you also get your own little home area that you can customize and do stuff with. And there's just this big open world where you can do quests and stuff. I just love this one so much. I know there's been some development since I've played it, and I've not really looked into it because I don't really want to get sucked up into it again because I just don't have the time, but I really recommend this one, especially because it is free. So Palia gets an A. I loved it. Fae Farm is the next one here, and this one was just hyped up so much that it kind of almost put me off of it from the beginning, and it gave me vibes of being a company-made game as opposed to an indie passion project, if that makes sense. I absolutely love the look of this game. It was such a beautiful game. but the gameplay definitely left me wanting. I thought the story was just a bit not so good. It was mainly focused around these mining systems where you just had to go through them, and that's not bad. Some games do that, but the fact that this game didn't have much else outside of the story was kind of what got me. There was relationship building, but it was terrible and I did not enjoy it. The fishing and the bug catching I really liked. It was really cute, but other than that, it's like there wasn't that much else to do, so I kind of had to focus on the story, and the story was just going through mines. So yeah, it was okay, but once I finished the story, that was completely it. I had nothing else to do. So I'm gonna give this one a C. Harvest Moon Winds of Anthos is another game that, yes, I got addicted to, but I could really appreciate how terrible it was while I was playing it. I think I got addicted to it because it's this open world and you have maps to unlock, so it's kind of got that sort of collection-based system that I find really addicting. But yeah, the NPCs didn't really have too big of personalities, and the quests weren't very interesting, and the world itself was pretty plain and boring. But I still enjoyed the game, and I didn't end up finishing it because the ending really dragged out, but I did enjoy my time with it, so I'm going to give that one a C. Coral Island is the next one here, and this one gets a lot of love, and I can totally see why, but for me personally, I never got super into it. I don't know what it was about this game, but to me it didn't feel like it had like a soul to it. Like the people, the NPCs never felt real or genuine. I never wanted to get to know them. I thought it was a bit silly how this entire island was just a mess, and it was solely on me as an individual to clean up after everybody. Like no one seemed to help out. I didn't find the farming to be that interesting or unique in any kind of way. Yeah, like I definitely enjoyed the game, but it wasn't like I wasn't dying every second of every day to get back to playing it. It was kind of like, I better finish this game now. So I'm gonna give that one a C. My Time at Sandrock is next. Absolutely love that game. I'm actually thinking about playing it again soon. I feel like this is definitely one of those games where they have done a sequel to a very much loved game, but they've added to it. They have probably copied and pasted a bit too much, I think. I think a lot of people have a problem with that. But for me, I love Portia, and Sandrock is pretty much the same, just with improvements. So of course, I loved Sandrock as well. So I'm giving that one an A, and at the same time, I'll give Portia a B, because Portia definitely not as good as Sandrock. But I still loved it. Summer in Mara is a game that I was surprised to find not a lot of people like. I think I played it after they improved a lot of things, and that's why I think a lot of people had such negative thoughts on the game. But basically the start is really, really terrible. It's this horrible tutorial island where it kind of makes the game look like it's got absolutely nothing to it. And then as you leave your island and you explore and go to this other main island with NPCs and do all these quests, the game really opened up to me, and something about leveling up relationships by doing quests got me really, really addicted to it, and I actually really love the game. So I'm going to give that one a B. Hokko Life is probably the only major farming game where I just did not like it. It was as if someone had taken Animal Crossing, copied it completely, but taken out everything that made it fun. Not to be me, obviously. Like, I'm sure people worked very hard on it, but for me, I was just so bored. I didn't find the customization part particularly interesting, and I was just lost on what to do all the time, and I felt really bored. I didn't like that one. I'm gonna give it an E, personally, but keep in mind a lot of people like it, so this is just my personal opinion. No Place Like Home. Oh, I played that one twice now. I like it. It's a great game. I know it's kind of a bit soulless, but oh god, I find vacuuming up things in video games so freaking satisfying, and that's 99% of this game. It's like half vacuum simulator, half farming game, and I freaking loved it. It's dragged out for way too long, and there's way too much to clean up, and the NPC writing is actual trash. No offense, but it's really, really bad. Like, your grandpa is missing and people are salty at you because you were an annoying kid and they don't want to help you. Like, it just makes no sense. Anyway, if you like cleaning and you like a good farming game, get on that one. I don't even think it's that expensive, and it's on Switch as well. So I give No Place Like Home a B. Big Farm Story. I played this one ages ago. I've played this one twice again now also. This one gave me like really old school online MMO vibes. Even though it's not really an online game, you can like visit other players' farms, but that's pretty much the extent of it. I thought the writing was awesome. The story was interesting. Like, what happened to my grandpa? I wanted to know. And yeah, there's like other things to do. You can decorate your farm a little bit. Lots of character quests. There's market quests. There's fishing, collecting resources, lots of stuff to do. And yeah, I just really enjoyed it. So I'm going to give that one a B. Everdream Valley is next. This one also really hyped, but when I played it, it just felt like there was something missing. This game probably had the best animal kind of aspect to a farming game I have ever seen. You can like, they're so cute for starters. You can like place hay on the ground. You can plant grass seeds for them. You can shear sheep. You have to have cover for your animals, like really detailed in that section. The rest of the game, not so much. You can explore, but there's a lot of like cliffs or rivers to like stop you. So, you know, if you explore too much, it takes you absolutely forever to get back. I think from memory I finished the story, but there was still a lot of locked areas which confused the heck out of me. Farming was okay, but I never really got super into it. Yeah, just like that one section of the game, amazing. The rest of it, I thought it was okay. So I'm gonna give this one a C. Monster Harvest, yeah, this game gives me vibes of, I don't know if it was an indie developer or if it was a team of people, but it gives vibes of someone being like, oh, this farming game is making a bit of money, let's just slap something out there and hopefully we make a bunch of cash. Yeah, it's a very soulless game with no depth to it. It's like it's kind of like Pokemon, but if all your Pokemon died. So like, you know, no attachment potential there, all your animals die. The idea is that their spirit goes into the soil and helps the next animal you make be stronger, but it's like, but they still die. I don't know, that's not fun for me. And yeah, just not a lot to do, not a lot of depth, not a great game in my opinion. I'm going to give that one an E. Behind the Horizon, oh my gosh. Please, if you take one game from this list and play it, let it be this one. This game is made by a single developer, and he is constantly updating this game, constantly taking critiques and ideas from people or, you know, accessibility requests and does them immediately. But basically this game, it reminds me heavily of Stardew Valley, not in a copy and paste way, but in a kind of, there's so much content hidden in this game kind of way. It's kind of a farming / nature simulator. You know, it's you've got a farm, you can raise animals, there's a town nearby where you can do a bunch of quests, there's mines where you can find chests of loot, and you know, there's DLC and there's all this amazing stuff. But at the same time, the world around you is basically living, and as you play, the world around you evolves. Like, there could be a flood that creates a new river, or some NPC or even you could like chop down too many trees and that could change the environment of an area. Wind could blow some seeds and create a new forest. It's insane. It's insane. And I know the art style of this game isn't particularly appealing to most people. For me personally, I freaking loved it. Even at the start, that's what drew me in. But yeah. If you're looking for something that just has so much depth to it and can occupy you for a good 100 hours, it's really difficult to get into. The controls are quite a bit tricky to learn, but once you get into it, oh boy, this game is epic. Yes, definitely recommend this one. I give it an A. Harvestella, for me, freaking love the farming part of it. The watering and like the tools that you use make it so satisfying. I freaking loved the collection system where it's like you get a book for each season where you've got goals to work towards and stuff. Absolutely love the soundtrack. Probably one of the absolute best soundtracks in a game. I wish this soundtrack was on Spotify. I would listen to this soundtrack so freaking much it would probably make my ears bleed. The farming isn't a major aspect of this game. It's pretty heavily story focused and stuff like that. But again, what farming stuff they had, I really, really loved it. So I'm going to give this one an A. Staxel is a kind of Minecraft looking game, if you will. It's pretty basic, it's pretty simple, there's not much to it, but you can get so creative with this game. It's absolutely insane. Like, you kind of start off with this broken down 1-story house. You could build a freaking 5-story house if you wanted to. It's Minecraft in a way that you can just put blocks wherever you want. You could literally take an NPC's house and change it if you wanted. You are asked to build new NPCs, houses. It's just a really cool, really unique game, and I really loved the look of it. I loved how you could build your animals, a barn, like from literally scratch. It's just a really awesome, unique game, and I just really loved it. I give that one an A as well. Graveyard Keeper, I feel like we've all heard of this one now. Really awesome game, really in-depth gameplay, lots and lots and lots of content, awesome DLC, just a really cool vibe. If you haven't heard of it, I find that crazy, but this is definitely a must play. I give this one an A. Garden Paws is a bit of a funny one. When I first played it, I really struggled to like it. I didn't like it actually, but this game has a huge fan base, as these games often do. And then the second time I played it, I really put in a lot more effort and I really committed, because it can take a lot of grinding to make enough money to really do some stuff in this game. And once I did that, I could see, you know, it was better. But for me personally, this game just gives off a bit of a cheap vibe. And I understand it's made by, I think to my understanding, it's just made by like 2 people, a couple. So that's really cool that they've done that. But you know, it did give off cheap vibes to me. I didn't really like the look of the characters or the world, and there wasn't always a lot to do for me personally, and I didn't like the building aspect, and you know, but yeah, it was okay to play the second time I played it, so I'm going to give this one a C. Wylde Flowers, I've played this one, I don't know how many times now, a million times, just because it's on iOS, it's on Switch, it's on PC, it's on everything. This game is awesome. It's got so much personality, it's adorable, the art style is amazing, the NPCs have really deep backstories and they've got their own struggles. There's like relationship problems, identity problems. For a farming game, it's got a full-on story. Really interesting, and you get a farm and there's like magic integrated into the story, and you can eventually use spells and stuff to help you with your farming. It's awesome. I love it. I give this one an S. Dinkum is a Australian themed farming game actually. This one I believe is planned to come on console, but I mean, they were saying that a year and a half ago or however long ago when I first played it. Such a good game. It heavily reminds me of Animal Crossing, but not in a way where it feels like it's ripped off. Kind of in its own unique sort of way. And yeah, you've got like lots of Australian animals, like you've got dingoes, emus, you've got kangaroos, sharks, crocodiles. It's such a cool game. There's so much customization. I really recommend this one, and I really hope it comes out on console eventually. So I give this one a B, just because when I played it, it's in early access, and I believe it still is, but I do need to play it again to see what's new. Lastly, I want to finish with Epic Chef, and I freaking love this game. This game is one of those games where I wish I could erase my memory of it so I could play it again, because I feel like this game doesn't have too much replayability simply because A, it's a really long game, B, it's heavily story focused. There are quite a few, like shocking things that happen that really add value to the game when you play it. And then also there's a lot of very challenging things that I wouldn't want to go through again. But yeah, it's really awesome. You basically have a farm and this cool house that's actually haunted, and you plant and harvest crops, and then you also have like animals that you get resources from, and you make sauces and stuff like that, and then you use that in cooking competitions that are also really fun. And you also really need to get really strategic eventually with these, and they actually get pretty tough, but just an absolutely hilarious story. Such dry humor. The cutscenes are so funny. I really recommend this one. I give this one an A. I really hope you found some things to play from this list. I made this list actually a couple of months ago, so there will be some games I've recently played missing from this, but yeah, it's a pretty decent list anyway. So yeah, I hope it helped you in some way. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!